Hi, this is Margaret, Center Creative Learning. I'm one of your instructors tonight. And you know what? We often talk about the mind and how it works. However, we don't often talk about the mind and how it works on drugs. I think you'll be surprised what you're going to see today. Stay tuned. So, we have the mind over here. This is your mind on drugs. Notice that there are a lot of marks up on the brain and that the emotions don't flow real freely. And they have all these other little dealies inside that also diverts the energy and motion of your feelings. So they get trapped in the brain. Now, every now and then, what will happen is somebody on drugs may actually have a breakthrough, and all of a sudden they're going to have like a blowout in part of their brain. And they'll have another blowout over here. Now, that may look bad to the brain. However, what happens is the energy can then escape and come back in, so it starts flowing again. Now, it doesn't flow freely because there's also gunk on these things. Right here is gunk. And sometimes the energy gets stuck on the gunk. So what happens is the brain looks something like this, and we have a very thick piece of more gunk that separates the conscious mind from the unconscious mind, or subconscious. This is subconscious, or nonverbal. And this is the conscious mind. Now, and this is the verbal part, somebody who happens to be quite chatty and they use drugs, this part gets developed much faster because they're always talking. This part is less because for some reason, we don't know why yet, that addicts in that, when they go into their nonverbal subconscious, they really don't know what's there because they don't know what's up here either. So they just don't know. So it really doesn't matter. Okay. So what happens when we have a learning experience for these people with messed up minds is, let's say they have let's say a baby's born. I know you've heard this story. A baby's born, and here is a brand new baby. And instead of talking about the baby, I'm going to talk about the parents. So out comes this baby, and this person who has this kind of mind, let's say the father, or it could be the mother, doesn't matter. When that baby's born, instead of that little deal positive, we get a plop in here. They get a plop in their brain, and they can't tell if it's positive or negative. They don't know if it hurts or doesn't hurt because this part of the brain is kind of messed up. And there are a few little holes that go from the conscious to the subconscious. They're like wormholes. Actually, I did see something on one of these TV shows, and this lady had worms in her head. It was a tapeworm that was in her belly and had shot off a spore or something and went to her brain. That's a true story. And she almost died. So don't worry about worms in your brain. I don't think it's normal to get them. I think it's very rare. However, it has happened. And if you had a worm in your brain, it probably would be down here somewhere. It looks something like that. And they have little tentacles out here because they're like pinchers, and they grab onto your brain and they hold on there. And then when they get big enough, they shoot off a part of their body, and it goes to other parts of your body. So you could actually have worms in any of your organs. So anyway, you have this big blob that comes in there from this, maybe it should be a positive experience. but you really can't, the person who is in the state really doesn't know. And it really depends on the amount of alcohol, drugs, whatever that's in the brain. Okay, so you get a lot of these plaques in the brain. And you might even get some over the worm. You just never know. So you're probably thinking, what is this about? How is anyone going to think this way? How is anyone going to understand the concepts that we teach here at the center? Well, there are neural pathways in the brain, and unfortunately, they are going to come off of these experiences, but they go right to the worm. I don't know why they're drawn there. And what we have to do in order to fix those, I think it's kind of like an alcohol worm or something. It could be a skunk pot worm. So what we have to do with these people is something a little bit different than we usually do. Okay? We have to somehow change the neural pathways. However, it's not going to be by getting them to do some type of process work. They may need to do something different. All right. So as all this is happening down here, there's a lot happening up here for the drug-infused brains. And actually, that's pretty sad, too. Because what happens is this gets kind of messed up as well. There are like little tornadoes in there. And what they do is they like kind of bore down. They're like screws. And so they spin, and then they make holes in there. And they get stuck in there like these anchor screws, like you put in walls, so you really can't get them out. So to be really honest with you, someone who has a drug and alcohol mind is really screwed. All right. If you have any questions about this, give us a call or visit us online or give us money to get better training. Something. Bye.